You swear that the testimony you're about to give in the matter now under consideration shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God.
You realize that one of the songs at issue in this lawsuit is a song called The Girl Is Mine?
Yes.
Who wrote The Girl Is Mine?
I wrote The Girl Is Mine.
Was it also released as a single?
Yes, the first single off of Thriller.
I'd like to play for you a document that's at Exhibit 489 and ask you to tell me whether you recognize Exhibit 489. I'm going to stop the Exhibit 489 for a moment and ask you, Mr. Jackson, whether you recognize that.
Yes, that's me writing the parts to The Girl Is Mine, creating it.
What were the circumstances under which you started making Exhibit 489?
Well, just a tape recorder there and making sounds. Like every night she was riding my dreams since I met her from the start.
I have an objection.
Well, that's how I did it. You asked me how I created, and I started to perform to give you an example of how I create songs. I make these sounds. Yeah, that's The Girl's Mine.
Objection.
You were making some sounds with your mouth. What was the purpose of that?
The sounds are the rhythms that I make, the way I'm hearing it in my head. And I'm hearing the bass, I'm hearing the percussion.
I'll stop there. You were making some noise where you just laughed. What were you doing?
I was imitating a Moog bass, where you play the bass on a keyboard, but you have this little stick where you go,
Thank you. Did you just hear some words on the tape?
Yeah, that part of the song I never used.
Why not?
Because it went in another direction. And I can tell by listening to that where it's going to go. It's probably going to go da-da-da-da-da. Because it's most likely to go in that direction. I haven't heard this since then. There it is.
What part were you singing just before I stopped the tape?
Counterlines. Musical counterlines that can go against the main part.
What were you doing right there? What was that?
Creating another part.
Well, was there a particular musical instrument that you were
It's a
in?
piano.
What'd you say right there?
Strings.
What were you doing there?
Creating a French horn part, which I never used. That could be soft horns.
What did you just say there?
I just said that could be soft horns.
And don't write this song. Don't write anything. Let the song create itself.
That's my law.
Does the song The Girl Is Mine have a bridge?
Yes, it does.
Could you sing that for us?
I love you more than he, take you anywhere. Then I go, but I love you endlessly, loving you will share. It's very difficult sometimes. You only have one voice, but you're hearing full chords.
Before this lawsuit was filed, did you ever hear a song called Happy Go Lucky Girl?
No.
When you wrote The Girl Is Mine, did you copy from anyone else's song?
No.
Was The Girl Is Mine written by you and you alone?
Written by me and me alone.
Do you know anybody named Clifford Rubin?
Doesn't ring any bells.
Do you know Raynard Jones?
Yes.
Did you ever copy any songs provided you by Raynard Jones?
No.
Are you familiar with the song Thriller?
Yes.
Turning to another subject, you realize that Joseph Jackson is one of the defendants in this case?
I heard.
Who's Joseph Jackson?
My father.
Finally, I'd like to turn to We Are the World. How did you become involved with We Are the World?
Quincy Jones called. He said it would be very important for the children. He knew how important that is to me. So I said, I'll do it. So I got together with Lionel, goofed off for 2 days, doing nothing. Because we go way back since I was like 8 years old or something. Then on the third day, I woke up with this melody in my head.
Did Mr. Ritchie bring any melody to you at any time? Can you sing it?
It went da-dee-da-da-dum, da-dee-da-da-dum, and that was it.
Did you like it?
Yeah, I said, that's nice.
Did you eventually make a demo of We Are the World?
Yes, I did.
Do you remember where that was?
I can't find that tape to this day. I wish I knew where it was. I'd like to hear it, just to have some laughs.
Let us understand.
Did you copy
your sole song that you take credit for by yourself? Is that song independently created by you? Do you understand the question, Mr. Jackson?
Absolutely. The songs that I take credit for on my albums that say written by Michael Jackson are written by Michael Jackson.
And Michael Jackson alone, right?
Michael Jackson alone. I wouldn't cheat anybody out of credit.
I'm not suggesting you cheat anybody on anything, sir. I'm going to give you a list of songs, and I'm going to ask you some questions about each one of them. What was your life?
It's called What's Your Life. I wrote that with my brother, Jermaine.
Michael McKellar?
Michael McKellar?
Yes.
How do you know about Michael McKellar? I wrote Michael McKellar.
When you write them, what form would they be in? Would they be in the form of lead sheets? Would they be in the form of notes?
God, I've written things on toilet paper. It could be anything. Whatever's the closest around. I've written on walls.
Don't Stop Till You Get Enough. Was that tune released?
Yes.
Do you recall what year?
79, was it?
Did you have a stockpile of songs that you had written to be submitted for the album?
When I write songs for an album, I'll write 50 to 60 songs just for 9 songs, you know, and I'll pick from those.
Muscles, did you write that?
Yes.
How do you know Raynard Jones?
A friend of my brother's over the years.
Do you consider him a friend of yours?
No.
Why not?
Well, a friend wouldn't do this, would he?
Sylvia Chase has a report on that group and its star, Michael Jackson.
Hugh, Michael Jackson is a superstar, and the group is sensational. But you have to give a lot of the credit to the original Jackson, too, Mr. and Mrs. Joe Jackson, the parents who turned 5 of their boys into polished entertainers who made their first big score on national television 10 years ago.
But right now, here they are again singing The Love You Say from their new album, ABC.
The Love You Say was one in a string of 4 hits that launched the recording career of the Jackson 5. The year was 1969, and the brothers had for their lead singer 11-year-old Michael. For a decade now, they've enjoyed success, but the group has shed its bubblegum soul image. At 21, somehow Michael still manages that little boy voice. Jacksons now exert total control of their product, writing, arranging, and producing music that fits any radio playlist, from contemporary to disco. This hit, Shake Your Body Down, is a 2 million record seller. In 10 years, the Jacksons have sold 93 million records, more than any group but the Beatles. Their current tour, 51 cities in 2 months, will gross about $7.5 million. In the backseat of a limousine after the concert, I learned how it all began 16 years ago from Marlon Jackson.
One day, our television in Gary, Indiana, broke down, and we took it to the shop. The guy was late fixing it, so we started singing country western around the house with our mom. Cotton Fields Back Home, those country western songs. And then we just kept singing and practicing.
Kate Jackson persuaded her husband, a weekend musician himself, to take over the act. A steel worker, Joe started moonlighting as his son's manager. It's his full-time job now.
I decided to deal with the boys as much as I possibly can as far as rehearsing them, getting them prepared to be in show business.
Did they resent it?
Yes.
They did?
Yes.
My father started rehearsing every day after school. Other kids would be outside playing, and they would tease us, oh, you're doing this, you're not going to get nowhere, you're not going to... But we just rehearsed every day.
At first, it was weekends and vacations on stage. Within a few years, though, they were on the road more than at home. School was a traveling tutor. They entertained their way around the world 3 times. They gave a command performance for the Queen of England. The history of their success can be seen in the gold and platinum records on the living room wall. There must have been sacrifices.
Well, raising 9 children, it's always going to be rough when there's only one working. And we sacrificed a lot.
There was a lot of instruments to buy, and they really cost a lot of money. Drums and guitars and amplifiers to go with them. And I had all this stuff piled up on top of the Volkswagen microbus.
Today, the Jacksons travel first class. Fame makes them vulnerable. On the road, theirs is a life of back doors and security guards, quick entries and exits. Michael's provocative flirtation undoes even the most elaborate security system. Though he dances away from such encounters, Michael is uncomfortable, he confesses, with the process of getting acquainted. The only total strangers he trusts are the ones out there, beyond the footlights. At your concerts, there are hundreds of people in the audience yelling, "Michael, Michael!" What do you feel like?
When they're all holding hands and everybody's rocking and all colors of people are there, all races, and it's the most wonderful thing, and politicians can't even do that.
I feel like I want to rock.
Michael cut an album without his brothers in August. It's called Off the Wall, and it's headed for triple platinum, meaning 3 million sold. This song, Rock With You, is from the album. You hear it everywhere. It seems to have become the skater's anthem in Southern California. 2 months after its release, Rock With You is still climbing the charts.
So we can rock forever. Everybody put their hands together, come on. Everybody sing.
At this point, Michael really is kind of the mainstay of the Jacksons. Has it always been that way?
Yes.
Michael has always been sort of the star.
Yeah, he's been highlighted the most because he's the lead singer and he's up front, you know.
Little kid, we put him up.
Because he danced so much and had so much energy.